What's up, guys? It's Gavex here. This is my first video, but I wanted to show you guys my melodic process and what I do to make melodies. I'm still learning. I haven't been producing for that long, but I want to show you guys what I do to make my sound cool and what I think sounds cool and what I can do to, like, what I try to do to improve every time I hop on FL. So yeah, bro. I usually just start with Serum too. Lately, I've been starting with Serum. I like to use this pack because there's a lot of good sounds in it. So I might just start out with like trying to write the MIDI. Yeah, so right now I got like a little bass line and a top line. I want to develop it a little bit more though. Now I have a MIDI down. I'm gonna try and like switch up the sounds and see what I can find. I found one that I like. And I'm always transposing. I always transpose. I like to do that because it always gives me something different and a different type of feeling. So like when I transpose, that's the reason I'm doing it. And then I'm thinking of what can I add now? I think I can add just like a synth. I'm gonna transpose. I think I'm gonna actually export this all together and see what I can come up with just this. A lot of times I like to reverse. I like to listen to it and find parts that I really like and that I think I can do something with. I found these parts and I liked and I just chopped it. And it's basically just a 2-bar loop. So I'm gonna export that. And I keep consolidating and exporting because it's a lot easier to work with. Now there's a strategy that I actually learned about recently that you can take it in Stretch Pro and format shift it. And like, here, I'll show it in real time. So yeah, that's what it sounds like. And sometimes I like to reverse it again because it adds something that's kind of weird and different that you wouldn't have had before. You know what I mean? So here's, which I kind of like that. I want this part reversed. So I'm going to alt double click and I can just reverse this part, which is so nice. When I learned this, oh my God, it's actually a game changer. All right, put it again, obviously. I like to keep my project clean, so be aware this does reduce sound quality. But for me, it's like, I don't really care. So now I'm thinking, what can I do to this? And the first thing that comes to mind is taking this part and doubling it, but only reversing it. Yeah, I think that sounds cool. So we have that. And now what I want to do, I'm going to export it again. Now that I have this, I'm going to put it on track 2. I'm going to see if I can add shaper box to this. Sometimes I just play, you know? I think that sounds pretty cool. Go with doing time. Now that I have that, that sounds good. Maybe I can do Portal. I love Portal. It's probably one of my favorite. Alright. And I'm just going to export. I export a long loop like that, or a long melody like that, because as you can see at the beginning, there's no sound. And I like to have an 8-bar loop. So I'll just cut out the middle and see how that sounds. I'm taking it in a fruity slicer because it's fun. I'll do full beats, easier to work with. So I messed around with some of these settings here with the filters, which I didn't even know you could do actually. And I got this. I kind of like that. And I think I like that better. So I'm gonna export it. Obviously it's too quiet. So now I think we finally got our main melody. I'm feeling a little bit faster. So now, actually, I don't really know what I need here. All right, guys, I actually just reversed the melody, and I think it sounds better. All right, add some drums to this now, just like really quickly. All right, so I got the drums. Sometimes I like to put the drums on there because it helps me, like, when I have drums on the main melody, it helps me think of where I'm gonna go next with the music, and it helps me like fill in the gaps of what I need. So right now, I want a sine lead. So now I'm thinking I'm gonna go into like Luigi's Trap House, find some random shit. I want like a pluck. That's fine. That'll work. Find a different sound that I like. And so sometimes I find a sound that I like, and then I'm like, oh, you know, with this sound, it sounds like it could have something better. Another like little part to the melody. So then I add. Kind of nice keeping my beats simple sometimes. I like to do that because I've been learning lately to prioritize less about how the beat sounds in general and more about how much space it gives the artist to get on a beat. So low-key, I actually think this is good. I think this is like what I want in this beat. So I think I'm just gonna arrange it and then maybe mix it a little bit more, but then I think it's good after that. So how I like to arrange, I like to have like an intro. A lot of producers say that you shouldn't have an intro, and it's like when you send it off to an artist, they'll just like listen to the first like 10 seconds, which is true, and then they'll be like, yeah, this intro's L's. Like, a lot of people I feel like will have an intro like no drum intro, which I don't like. So yeah, I'll have an intro like this. Like, I think it's you an idea, and usually that's what I'll use for the verse. The very very beginning of the verse is that intro, and then I'll dumb it down. Very first beginning of this verse, I'll have whatever's in the intro for the first part, and then I'll do something with the drums. Like lately, I've been doing this a lot. I've been learning that like it's okay to leave like some silence in the drums. It doesn't always just have to be like this, you know, where all the drums are playing at once. So I like this part, like I like this. I like how this is like this, you know? So this is like the bridge, and it's very like silent, you know, not a lot of drums, not a lot of melodies. And I'll usually take that and go into the next one with it and just keep that same kind of vibe. Now I'm gonna like go very bare bones. This is what I love to do. I love this. Going like extremely bare bones on the second verse. Now we have the full arrangement, which I'm pretty happy with. I was getting a little worried times when I make a beat and the beginning melody is trash. In my opinion, I get a little worried, but I think I flipped it well. Here's the full beat. yeah, man, that's basically it. Appreciate y'all for watching. And low key, I'll probably try and make as many videos as I can, but I'm gonna try and keep myself to once a week at least. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.